I was just flipped off by a silver-haired old lady with a honk if you love Jesus sticker on the bumper of her car.
11:21, 21 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to Doug Pagitt Radio on AM 950 here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, and online at DougPagittRadio.com. Broadcasting over the air, on the internet, and through time for those of you who listen to this in the podcast. And the podcasts are available if you missed any segment of the show. 1-hour podcasts each week, broken up into 2-hour-long podcasts available for you over at DougPagittRadio.com. Head on over there to the previously link. You can also find a link there to the guests that have been on the show. Matt Henry and Carla Barnhill and Terry Hershey, and in a moment, Shelley Pagitt, natural health coach. Hey, Minnesota made it in the news here for religion, but not in a very profound way. There's an organization called the Pew Research Group, and they have nothing to do with the furniture in a church. The Pew Forum on Religion and Public Life. They do a whole number of surveys, and they're often the people that you'll see in some of the more respected polls that are taken on politics and on religion in the world. Anyway, they did one on religious interest, religious participation, religious belief in every state in the Union. And they've come up with a ranking. They've come up with a ranking on how important is religion to the group of people that live in that state. How frequently do those people attend church? How frequently do those people pray? And what do they say their belief in God is? So they went around and they asked these people and they ranked it. They compared it. They put it on a poll, and they ended up with 46 states, because they combined some of the smaller states like North Dakota and South Dakota. They combined together Montana and Wyoming, New Hampshire and Vermont, Connecticut and Rhode Island. So you ended up with 46 places that you could be in this poll. And they ranked a whole number of factors. You know, they asked a number of factors to determine how important it is. Well, the number one religion state in the Union, Grover, do you know what it is? The number one religion state, the state that overall gets the number one ranking on importance of religion by how often do you attend church, how frequently do you pray, and how many people say they strongly believe in God.
I'm really, really torn.
Are
between
you?
Two places.
Torn between two lovers? Living like a fool?
Something like that, yes.
All right. And was Mississippi one of them?
No.
Because the answer is Mississippi.
No, I was going to say Missouri or Texas.
Missouri or Texas. Well, I got to tell you, Missouri or Texas, not even close. Texas, not even top 10. Not even top 10.
Really?
Missouri, 17. Missouri, 17. How do you like that?
Right. Importance
of religion. When it comes to all the factors, say that religion's important in their life. Mississippi, number one. 82% of the people in Mississippi say that religion's important in their life. Now, if you were to look at another poll, a statistic of how well people's lives are going in Mississippi, you know what you tend to find? The poorest people, the greatest level of poverty, the lowest level of education, Mississippi. It's enough to make somebody say it's a good thing that the religious institutions are involved in Mississippi, helping these folks out. Other people might say, no, it's that religion that's making them suffer. Religion's making them dumb. Some other people might say, nah, you know what's happening is because they don't know very much, that's why they're interested in religion. Number one state, Mississippi. Number two, Alabama. Number three, Arkansas. Number four, Louisiana. Number five, Tennessee. Number six, South Carolina. Top six, South Carolina, Tennessee, Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi. The least interested people in religion. New Hampshire and Vermont coming in at 46. Alaska coming in at 45. Got interesting play with that Sarah Palin religious politician woman. Number 44, Massachusetts. Number 43, the state of Maine. And number 42, Connecticut and Rhode Island. You can see this real difference. The Northeast sector and the Southern Bible Belt. How do you like them apples?
Where are we?
Minnesota finds itself right plumb in the middle. Well, not really right in the middle. 31. Number 31 is Minnesota. Now, I would have thought that Minnesota would be a more religious state, meaning the people who answered this question, the people who say that religion is really important in their lives in Minnesota, that is 52% of the people, compared to 82% in Mississippi. I mean, but Mississippi's just blowing it out of the water. After that, Alabama drops way down to 74. So basically, Minnesota's at 52, Alabama's at 74, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, 36% say that it's most important. Now, what's interesting, too, is when you compare worship attendance, people that go to church, it's not exactly the same list. Utah is highest when it comes to their second highest when it comes to church participation because of the Catholic or because of the Mormon Church there in Utah. And Minnesota comes in 25th. Comes in 25th when it comes to their ranking on religion, on church participation. 25th. Of the people who attend church regularly in Minnesota, it's 38%. 52% say religion's important in their life, and 38% are people who regularly attend church. And for the people who say that that prayer is important and something, that prayer is a meaningful category for them, well, the Minnesotans fall in at, pardon me, there's a lot of numbers to look at here. Minnesota falls in at 35th, 52% active prayers. So you have more people that say belief in religion being important, belief in God really high, but attending religious services drops off. That says something. It says something about the nature of religion in the world that we live in. That in Mississippi and Alabama, it's highest all the way around. I mean, high attendance in church, high attendance or high levels of belief in religion being important, high levels of belief in God, and they attend church. Then places like Minnesota, it drops off, which tells me that here in our fine state, we have a number of people, maybe the kind of people who are listening to Sunday morning religious talk radio, that say to themselves, you know what, I'm terribly interested in religion, but I'm not all that interested in participating in organized religious expressions. That only 38% attend church regularly, where upwards of 70% believe in God and believe that religion is an important thing in their life. It's interesting to me, Grover.
Do you believe that maybe it's just because it's a certain stance that an organized religion may take on one issue or another issue, not to single any issue out, but whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it probably has something to do with cultural expectation and how you get connected into a society. I think that in parts of the South, it's much more common to have your social connections happen through your church. That's certainly true in Utah, certainly the case. I think here in Minnesota, it used to be that way, that if you really wanted to connect with another group of people, or you really wanted to be in the business community, or really wanted to be well respected, you would do that through a religious institution. And it's not so much the case anymore that people do that through the religious institutions. What's interesting to me is that people's belief in God and belief that spirituality is important, even religion is important, doesn't drop off at the same rate as their participation in church. Meaning, there's a bunch of people who would say, I think it's important, I just don't really want to connect with it the way that that you have to if you're gonna plug into a church. And I think that that's an interesting component to religious life, as opposed to what happens in a lot of history and a lot of other places where people go to church regularly and really aren't interested. Here we have a community of people that are interested but don't attend very regularly. And maybe those are the people listening this morning. Doug Pagitt Radio, religious radio that's not quite right. So you might be in good company in this fine state. We're back with natural health coach Shelley Pagitt after this.